Okay, guys, what's going on? So, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Real Q&A. I'm your host, Big Ant. Today, I have a special guest. We're talking about wellness today in the black community. So, I have a special guest. When I met her, she definitely put me on to a lot of things that she do, and I really think it could be helpful to the black community. So I want y'all to follow her and definitely go to her website. Check her website out. A lot of interesting things going on there as well. Her name is Yvette Miller. She likes to be called Sia. All right, so she's gonna. I don't know if you have any social medias, do you? Or
I do. Facebook, LinkedIn.
Okay, you gotta tell these people that. Big time. Hold on. Go ahead. Go.
Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm on there as Yvette Miller. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, yeah. This is Real Q&A. Always make sure we tell people it's the Real Q&A. On the Real Q&A, we ask real questions, and I expect real answers. That's all. Okay?
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
So before we get started, we always ask this question. What's your sign?
My sign is Gemini. All the way. June 13th.
June 13th?
Yep.
Okay. Gemini. It is Gemini season.
Yes.
So listen, y'all. Like I said, this is a wellness episode. I need y'all to get your pens and pads out. She's definitely going to give y'all some topics. Some pointers on, wellness. Okay? Tell us about yourself and, what you do.
So, first off, I have to say I'm born and raised in New York. I'm a true New Yorker. Went to high school, went to college, New York, lived in Queens all my life, and I certainly am here to, in this world, in this journey, to support my community. My office is in Long Island City. I've served as an educator in the Department of Ed for 31 years. I taught at the university level for about 17 years while I was teaching. So I taught every level from pre-K to junior high to high school to 2-year college, 4-year college, teachers who are going for their graduate degrees. And right now, for their teaching degrees. And right now I'm really working on teaching a peace education course and making that it's going to be certified by and accredited by New York State. So anyway, and I am an endurance athlete. I ran my first marathon at 41. I did my first Ironman training and learned how to swim by myself with a little help from a lifeguard at 47. And I'm a hiker. I'm a New York State hiking guide. So I believe in wellness. So I am actually Gemini. There's one part of me that loves the intellectual side, and I offer services that help that, and to promote that and grow that. And the other part of me is I love being outdoors, and I love athletics. I love yoga. I love hiking. I'm a yogi as well. So yes.
Okay, yeah, definitely. So how many children do you have?
I have one son.
Okay.
Ariel Montezuma. He's 20.
Montezuma?
Yes, I know. Yes.
Okay.
He's part Puerto Rican, part black.
That's a powerful name.
Yes, Ariel Montezuma.
What was your career prior to you doing all of this?
So I, a teacher, an educator. So I taught public speaking and theater. Like I said, at the university level, I taught at York College for 17 years. I taught out of Boston, Cambridge College in Boston, teaching, teachers who wanted to go for their degree in teaching.
Okay.
So I do a lot of communication. Communication is very important. The thoughts we tell ourselves, how you talk to yourself, how you talk to others, bringing mindfulness into that is really what I not only teach, but I live that.
Okay.
I don't teach, facilitate, or do anything I myself don't believe in or practice in my life.
You're not supposed to, you're supposed to live what you practice what you preach,
Absolutely.
So we're gonna go into your, your business and stuff. Tell us about Namaste. Like, what does it mean? Like, how did you come up with that name?
Yes. So the name of my business is Untethered. And it's an LLC, so it's Untethered LLC. And so I came up with Untethered LLC because I think that there are things that we all are moving towards in our life, and sometimes there are things that get in our way whether it's self-inflicted or it's others or just things that just happen to happen in life that serve as roadblocks. And those are the things that tether us, that tie us down, that keep us back. And so I named my company Untethered because we want to untangle those knots. And Untethered and the services that I offer help to free you from that which keeps you stuck.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good. That's definitely okay.
Yes. So my goal, the ultimate goal of my company, my goal is to help you reach your goals.
Okay, good.
In mind, body, spirit.
Oh yeah, we was getting. I'm getting there. What are some of the services that you offer though?
So I look at my company and categorize it into three types of services. One is mind, and I offer educational consulting. There are people who want to go to college and they don't know what to study. Their families tell them, "Oh, studies to make you money." I can really have conversations with people and help facilitate them in understanding their true purpose. I can't tell them their purpose. I can help them to uncover what those purposes are. So, educational consultant. Also, I'm a communication specialist, where I help people give presentations. I go into corporations to help them with communicate more efficiently and effectively with their workers. And I'm also a certified hypnotist. So with hypnosis, you just really want to think about how you're thinking, what you're saying to yourself. Instead of saying, I can't say swimming, I can't swim, you might want to say yet.
Okay.
Right? So it's just a simple word as yet in placement of can't really opens up a belief that you possibly can and possibly will.
Okay.
All depending on what you can. And the second part of the services I offer is the spirit portion, that which feeds the spirit. So I offer Women's Empowerment Circle, where women can talk about anything that, this is a women's movement, anything that they feel will bring more balance into their lives. And I offer mindfulness events, yoga parties, vision board parties.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into that.
And also I do yoga. I like to do small group yoga because I like to tailor yoga practices to the person's need. You walk into a regular yoga class, and all for that, I'm a piece to that too. But for me, my journey is one size does not fit all, and I can tailor yoga's practices to your specific needs. And the third line of services that I offer is the physical part, where like I said, I'm a hiking guide. I take people out to hike. I hike. I'm a mountain biker and also a road cyclist. So if you're interested in doing any of those things, you can look me up at you can contact me, CIA at namaste.com. You can go on my website, namaste.com.
Okay. Where are you located?
I'm located in Long Island City, Queens, and when you put in Namaste, it's spelled not the traditional way. I'll spell it Naumaste. Namaste.
I mean, does that have a meaning? Like, what's the meaning?
Absolutely. So, Namaste, the correct spelling of Namaste, is a Sanskrit term and is Namaste, and it's a greeting in India, but I think it's a powerful greeting. And what it means is that it means the light and love in me, the divine in me, my highest self sees that in me, recognizes that in me, but then I see it in you. I see the divine in you, and I recognize it, and I bow to it. And so especially here's a chakra and here's a chakra. So when you see someone like you, I would say namaste from my heart, like that. So we're here. And it's just like I see the divine in you. I recognize it and see it.
I appreciate
the best and highest in you. So
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, see, you already went into the things about the services you offer in mind, body, and spirit. So how often should I meditate? I mean, or how should I even start if I wanted to meditate? What would you suggest?
So some people have this notion of meditation. So I've done a lot of different types of meditation. And so should you do it every day? I think you should do some form of meditation every day. It doesn't have to be sitting down on the side and That's good too. But even a mindfulness walk, mindfully eating, just being in that moment, doing the activity that you're doing with the pure consciousness, meaning being in that moment. And what I mean by that is, like, right now you and I are talking to each other, and so I'm in this moment. I'm really thinking about what I'm saying. I'm not thinking about what I have to do when I leave from here. I'm not thinking about what I did yesterday. You're in the moment. You're not in the past. You know, you're not in the future.
Okay.
And that's the other thing with meditation, which is a part of yoga. People really don't know that, but there is no tomorrow. There is no yesterday. That is gone forever. All you have is this moment. So one of the things you can do, I'll give you a couple of tips, real small, and even your listeners can try this.
They're listening, because people
right,
tell
right now.
Yeah.
All you have to do, sometimes the best thing to do is just sit in silence. Sit in silence. You don't have to try to control your thoughts or your mind. Just sit and be. That's it. And just watch what comes up. That's a meditation. I live my life by the following way in response to your answer about meditation. So I do go over to the side and meditate. I do go over to the side and pray, right? But I also try to make that day long, meaning my life is a prayer, my life is a meditation, meaning I do everything that I'm designed to do to fulfill my purpose every day. And I really try to do that and practice doing it every moment of the day. Like this, meeting you, talking to someone who is about the community, about wellness. This, to me, is a prayerful moment, right? So that is a form of meditation, right? Being with people who I love, like my fiance is here. That's another.
Shout out to your fiance.
Yes, hi Dwayne. Dwayne Carvin. Yes, yeah, you know, so even in our relationship and how we communicate with each other is a prayer. You know, we try to bring out the best in each other.
One of my viewers is asking, do you use crystals? Are they recommended?
Absolutely, I do. I believe in crystals. Crystal quartz are beautiful. That is the crystal to have, because it is the crystal that really empowers all the other crystals. So if you were to ask me what's the best crystal to get, the first one would be the clear crystal quartz.
Okay.
Another is a black crystal, a black gemstone you should have, because it's a protection stone. And crystals are amazing. Yes, absolutely so.
Yeah.
And cleanse them though. You gotta keep them clean.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta.
That's easy
Yeah,
too.
absolutely. Yes.
What consists of the educational consultation?
So with the educational consultation, again, if a student is in college and they're not sure of their major, I can really talk to them about that, like what major to select. When I worked in the school system not long ago, a lot of students, for some reason, they're not sure of what their purpose is. For me, I'm not clear on why that's not clear to other people, but I do know it is. And I'm not saying that in any like elitist way. I knew for sure when I was 5, 6, what I wanted to do. And all the things I did then, I'm doing now. I like to be outdoors. So, you know, I love reading, I love books, and I love making money. You know, I would put up lemonade stands, you know, while the boys play football outside, and I buy penny candy and sell it for 2 cents. So my educational consulting would be, you know, helping people to really look at what's inside of them to find out what is their purpose. What are they designed to do? They know that. It's just about maybe me facilitating it to come to the surface. Another thing I do, I know a lot of people, adults, have ADHD. Maybe they were diagnosed with it when they were younger, and when you're in the school system, for example, you have services that help you to, you know, like they'll give you time to take the test longer, or there's services to help you within the school system. But when you graduate from high school, or you're out of high school, or you're newly diagnosed, and say you want to study for an exam, people with ADHD, and there are different kinds, but I can assist them with studying, give them systems to help them to study so they can get focused and stay concentrated on a study plan for themselves.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, no, so a lot of people, like, even with me when I was in college, my major originally was journalism.
Yes.
And I mean, it's kind of crazy because like now I feel like I'm going back into that. We're doing this here because I'm really I like having conversations.
Yes.
So yeah, so you're right. Usually, it's hard for a lot of people to find what they want to do in school, their path. But I'm glad you have a service like that that can help them be able to figure that out and stuff like that.
Right.
So now I don't know if you ever seen the movie Get Out.
I did.
You did, right?
Yes.
So I know you offer the hypnosis stuff.
Well, wait a minute.
I had to throw that in there because I mean,
So,
a lot of people are interested in it, but also scared of it at the same time.
So some people are scared of it because they're really not educated about it, and neither was I. I thought, well, one of the reasons why I wanted to get into hypnosis is that when I was studying yoga, one of the things you do is at the end of your yoga practice, you lay down in shavasana, and that's just you just lay down, and what's happening in that time is you're just relaxing and you're marinating all of the exercises or the processes that you just did in your yoga practice, right?
Okay.
So you're marinating it, let it just sit, and so what you're doing is you're relaxing. And so I was thinking to myself, that's the best part of yoga is when you just sit and you relax at the end of the session. And I'm like, where does the mind go? We wanted to relax and deeply relax. And that's what hypnosis does.
What's going on?
It teaches you to deeply relax. So so what a hypnotist really does is to teach you to hypnotize yourself. And what that really means is to totally relax. I'll give you an example. This, women probably could relate to this more than men, but the point is still the same. So there are a lot of couples who are having problems with having children. So they will go to a specialist to help them to have children. And so, they sometimes they get stressed out about it. They got to have sex at a certain time when they're ovulating, and some of them have a hard time because they're really tense about it. And then they a lot of people give up after a year or two or whatever, and then they just adopt. And the moment they adopt, they get pregnant. Because they relax. They just relax from the process. They let go of it. And so that's what really hypnosis does. It allows you to really, really relax yourself so that you can access certain things about your life. Like, for example, so that you can perform better. There's some or quit smoking, or for example, hypnosis can help you stop smoking. Now, you might ask someone, why do you smoke cigarettes, right? For example, and they might be, well, it relaxes me, it calms me down. But after so many years, it becomes your identity. So then I say, well, okay, can we take, you're trying to help yourself, you want to relax, that's a good thing, but smoking is a bad habit. So let's place what you're trying to do, which is a good thing, is to relax, but let's replace it with the more positive habit. So we would help the person to relax and be able to access the subconscious to help them to release that bad habit. So actually, again, hypnosis is really, for me, what I do as a consulting hypnotist is to help the person hypnotize themselves, to relax more, to let go of even traumatic things. You can just relax and also access information within yourself. It's nothing that I'm trying to get out of you. It's just something to help you get this out of yourself so that your life could be more full and more. Like after I finished my hypnosis course and certification, I found the love of my life because I was able to access that and know how to draw it into myself. Okay. Absolutely. And I can help women with that too, actually.
So ladies, you heard that, right?
Or men too.
Focus on it. We're gonna get into that conversation in a minute because we had a conversation that was crazy. But I have a question. One of my viewers is saying she has a child that's autistic, right? And she wants to know, do you think medication can help that? And is are there any books you can recommend?
So I really believe she should get a person who specializes in autism. That's number one. Diet is important as well for all of us, not just autism. So if you are not just children who are autistic, so if you're going to change that child's diet, change it for the whole family. We all need to just eat cleaner. There's a lot of pesticides in the system, and just be conscious of what you are putting not only in your body but on your body. So just give an example. I went to buy some Maui glasses, sunglasses for my hiking, and I went online and they had some ingredients in the glasses that cause cancer, that causes reproductive cancer. So if you look on this website, and Californians have this, to find out all the ingredients, not only in things that you eat, but the things that you wear. That is in your household that has a lot of carcinogens, things that cause cancers and that are not clean. So what I'm saying is be cautious about what's in your environment. You can't wipe everything clean, but you can get conscious and mindful about it. So I would watch his diet, watch his sleep, and also she should look at something called N as in no, L as in love, P. It's neuro-linguistic programming, and they give some things like spinning that if she could tell him to hold his arms out like an airplane and just spin, right? Slowly, because how old is he? I don't know how old he is, but
how old is his son, Erica? And I told her she heard me say meditation. We didn't say medication. She definitely heard me say meditation.
Okay.
All right, but yeah, how old is your son?
Okay. All right. So just spin, and then when he 10 times, when he stops, let him close his eyes, and the process
12.
that he 12. The process that he needs to take to still himself while his eyes are closed. That process, that thing will bring some calmness into him. Meditation's amazing. I don't know where he is on the spectrum of autism, but really allowing him to teach him to meditate. Teach him I can give you a nice, easy, I'm trying to think of something real easy. It's called happy breathing, right? And it calms you. Just always, it takes 2 fingers. You always close the right nostril first. That's the yin side. Breathe out, breathe in, out. Just like that, right? And find a rhythm with it. Just easy, relax. TV shouldn't be in his room, right? Things like that. Every room has a purpose, right? Like the bedroom is where you rejuvenate, where you relax, right? And he needs to be able to relax before he sleeps too, right? And meditation, again, hydration is very good. And let them get outdoors. A lot of children. When I grew up in New York, we played in the street. We played handball. We rode our bikes. A lot of kids are more indoors, right? Let them get outdoors a lot too. The sun provides the vitamin D, all natural stuff. Get them out in nature. Let them take them.
The funny thing you said that. See, the thing is, with me, I went to my doctor, and this is funny because I couldn't believe when he told me. While I was going outdoors, I was actually lacking vitamin D.
Yes.
And vitamin D is essential for not getting cancer and stuff like that. So I started to go outside more once he told me that. So you're right, a lot of people have to get more, go outside more, and taking the natural effects of the sun and things of that nature.
Well, may I don't want to.
No, you interrupted me.
More important, vitamin D is imperative. Did you know that around, I want to say November, right after Thanksgiving, moving into February, into January, beginning of February, there are more suicides.
Yeah.
If elderly are sick, really sick, that's when there's a lot of loss of life around that time because the days are shorter, right? We're in daylight saving times. A lot of people don't go outside, and the vitamin D, the lack of vitamin D can really, really bring on an onslaught of issues. And just getting outdoors, go outside, just go outside. Let him play, get him away from the computer. Sometimes autistic children, they like to really be on the computer because they like repetition of things. But get him into swimming, swim, get in the water. Swimming is an excellent sport. It requires both sides of the body, using them equally, and that does something for the water does something for the system that on-land activities does not do, that will not do. So yes, and lots of love and support, hugs. Sometimes they don't like to be hugged or touched, but let them feel the environment of love in a calm environment. So anyway, yes.
What do you do like to combat anxiety?
Right. So getting outdoors is really important. getting outdoors, finding activities that you love to do. You know, I met this woman the other day. She was like, I'm going to walk. And she was like, I really don't want to walk, but, you know, it's an activity. So I was like, what do you like to do? Think about something you like to do. So she said she likes to dance. So I said, well, then take that up, dance. That's an aerobic activity that if you want to lose weight or you want to keep the heart rhythm, or Tai Chi. You know, you see a lot of older Asian women in the park and men in the park doing that.
Yeah.
That increases the chi. You want to increase the chi, the inner energy inside your body. And so, yeah, just do an activity that you love to do.
She's saying more so like maybe the physical symptoms, like, you know, like we have like the, you know, like some people when they have anxiety, they get short of breath, or like any like type of exercises you would recommend.
What do they like to do? So again, meditating, sitting still. I encourage everybody to take the TV out of their bedroom. That causes anxiety. A lot of people go to sleep with the TV. Watch what you're eating. Watch sugars. I have a sweet tooth, so I'm just saying you have to really balance that. Watch the sugars you take. A lot of food bring on anxiety, caffeine. Use it wisely. It has its purpose and its place. It's really good for some things, but you don't want to overdo it. Don't overstimulate. Start relaxing a little bit, like before you go to bed. Like, that's one of the things that I'm looking at in my own life. And also knowing, are you
She's a wellness coach, guys.
Or you know, are you a morning person or night person too?
Yeah, sure, you gotta figure that out.
You do. Only you know that. Like when you know, if you gotta drag yourself out of bed each morning, you're probably not a morning person. Like I pop up like, thank you God, you know. And if you start picking up energy in the evening, then you know you're more of a night person, and you need to be conscious and mindfulness of that and plan stuff accordingly. And like we talked about this too, about being on time for places, you know, and just making enough time to get to your destinations and your appointments, so you're not stressing, driving calmly, right?
Yeah. No, yeah.
All of those things that we think are so simple,
you know what I'm saying?
but they really do matter.
Well, also I see that you offer hiking and stuff.
I
like,
do.
Where in New York do you go hiking?
All over. So I started out as a hike guide for Long Island Greenbelt, and they're in Long Island. And then I also am a hike leader for AMC. That's the Appalachian Mountain Club, and that's more like they do a lot of hikes out in Bear Mountains and upstate. So I am a hike guide leader for both of those, but now I have my own company, and now I have my own badge and certification.
If you want, you can show them like the little point to the camera, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so this is, you know, I have a hiking certification by New York State.
Point your head to as well.
New York State. I have a badge. I'm
certified.
I'm certified.
She ain't nobody fake.
I'm certified. Everything I do, I want to say. So people will say, "Are you a life coach?" I'm certified in everything I do. Certified, degreed, certified, or I'm licensed in every service and insured in every service that I offer.
Good.
Yes.
Now, people asking, and I'm telling them, they was like, she looks wonderful. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they don't believe your age. I told them they don't want to hear me, but I mean,
God willing and the creek don't rise. I'll be 57 in June.
That's your Gemini. You know, we don't. You know, focus. Yes. What is snowshoeing?
So snowshoeing is as a part of it goes in the category of hiking.
Okay.
So when there's snow on the ground, I put you can buy snowshoes and REI. I invite all people to check out REI. REI is amazing, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But you can go to REI. You go online, or you go into a store. There's one in I think it's in Carl Place. It's in Long Island. You can buy snowshoes. You go online and buy snowshoes. They range in price. Get a cheap pair, and you put them on your feet, and so you can go into any park and just when it's snow on the ground and walk the snow in your snowshoes. It's cool. Like Indians did this a long time ago.
Like a big, I feel what you're talking about. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're like they look like tennis rackets,
yeah.
but you put they're a little bit more advanced now too. But you can get those too. And the reason I mentioned REI is it's a store where you can buy all kinds of
REI. I wrote that down.
You can buy all kinds of sporting goods, things and items, hiking boots, anything. From cycling, hiking, to all kinds of kayaking. And so, say for example, you get a pair of shoes, hiking boots, and they fit fine in the store, and they even have, you could try them out in the store. But say you take them out, and they're fine for hiking 2 miles, but then you go on a longer hike for 10 miles, and they're like really hurting your feet, or they came apart. You can return REI stuff up until a year, even if it's used. You can return it and get your money full back. They support their products. I believe in customer service. Not only do I give best customer service to my clients, but I believe in recommending companies that, really do give customer service, and it's amazing. So REI, you should go in and look at this in that store. Just go in there, and you might even pick up a hobby there, because all the people who service you there, and by the way, they don't pay me to say this, I'm just telling you it's the truth. Everybody who works in there has an expertise in what they're selling you. All right. So if you go in the hiking department, they hike. You go into the whatever department you go into, they know about that because they do it themselves.
As Mariah, she works with all age groups. If that's your question.
Yes.
Okay, just let you know that. Okay, because she came in, late. She said that already. All right.
Yes.
Breathology. What is that exactly?
So a lot of people who look at yoga, they look at it like we're gonna get on the mat. They see like skinny chicks in tights.
I mean, that's what
with water bottles and mat. Well, there is such a thing called naked yoga too now. I'm just saying.
I gotta get naked too?
That's not one of my services, so you have to go online.
I ain't doing all that.
I don't know.
I'm
I'm just saying. They have laughing yoga. They have all kinds of yoga. They have flying yoga. But anyway, so a lot of people don't know that yoga is not just on that mat. And when you're on the mat, there's a lot of things going on, and breathing is one of them. So if you're not breathing, of course we're breathing, but breathing mindfully. Like really, like say when you're doing downward facing dog, a lot of people have heard of that pose, or tree pose. You should be holding the pose. 3 things you're doing: focusing on the pose, focusing on your breath. You should be breathing what they call ujjayi breath, like a snore. That's what you should be doing when you're doing yoga. And a dristi, focusing on, like say if it's warrior pose, your focus should be on the tip of your finger. You should be breathing in and holding the pose. So breathology, so in yoga, breathing is what we call pranayama. So instead of me saying pranayama, people are like, wow, what's that? So breathology. So there's a whole bunch of ways to use breath to bring peace in your life. Actually, it's a form of meditation, breathing. There's you like I showed you one that was a form of breathology is what I call it, or pranayama. There's a lot of them. Ujjayi breathing, which I just explained.
Yeah, explained that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Somebody, I don't know, it's a random question, but they said, how beneficial do you believe apple cider vinegar is?
Oh, very beneficial. I use it, and the answer to that too is twofold. Yes. Apple cider vinegar does work. I also believe in practicing things. You have to find out what works for your body. Everybody has a different system, right? So just try different things safely and give it enough time to see, what works. There's also a test that I could give, that I will be giving my clients, and it's a dosha type test. And this is more from the Indian lineage, or the Eastern way, actually more Indian way of thinking. There are 3 dosha types, and this is specific to like what works for your system. There are pittas, there are vatas, and then there's kaphas. And I'm more a pitta vata, right? Which means it's a complicated system, but if you take a test, it'll tell you what foods are best for you. So I'll talk about myself. I'm pitta vata. Pittas, you can tell by their eyes, usually have like almond eyes, and the eyes are like, you know, bright and more, and they have certain sharper features, like, you know, my jawline is more sharp. Kapha people have a tendency to be a little more heavier. They love life. They love to eat, drink, and be merry, and so sometimes their energy needs a little bit more yang. You know, yin and yang needs a little bit more of like activities in their lives. So and they need foods that's gonna lift their energy a little bit more. They're more grounded. And Pitta is like me. I'm like always on the go, very competitive like that. So and got a lot of fire, you know, a lot of fire. So I gotta watch sometimes. I like hot sauce, but when I'm in balance and I'm feeling a little bit like more high strung, I could calm down on those fire foods. Pitta is like fire. They're like, so the reason I mention that is it's important to know, and there are systems in place that'll help you to tell you like what types of food is best for your, you know, your system. But try, experiment, practice. Because you can go to a doctor and tell them, a medical doctor, and tell them certain things, and they're like, oh, ain't nothing wrong with you, but you know something's not right. You have to really, it is beneficial to really be mindful about not only the thoughts you keep, what's going on in your body. Listen to your body, it does not lie. And you can't eat all, even if you live in the same house, you can't eat all the same foods that other people in your house might be able to eat. So when a kid tells you they don't like that kind of food, you have to listen to that. So I'm not talking about like junk food, but I'm seriously saying if they might not know how to express to you why they don't like it, might not just be good for their system, for them. You know.
You have another service called Vision Board Parties. What does that consist of? Like, what is that? Yeah,
oh my God, I love vision boards. Vision boards are amazing. So vision board, I don't know if any of you know about The Secret or have heard of The Secret. So it really vision boards speak a little bit of that, where you envision your life that you want. Envision the best life for yourself. And when I say the best life, I mean there's something that's going to be beneficial to you and all involved and those around you.
Somebody said they heard of that.
Yes, and so in a vision board party, a vision board is, I would have you take different pictures, words, phrases, cut them out and put them on a board or a paper, and and you hang it where you can see it every day, and you will see that those things will begin to become true. It's not just a matter of pasting things on a paper, but it's the process. It's the process of you knowing what you want in your life, putting it down to paper, and then feeling what it would feel like to be successful. So for example, like you might have on your, what would you put on your vision board? Like if I were to say to you, like what do you want? Like name 3 things that you definitely want to make manifest, to make true in your life in the next month.
On my production company.
Right. So he would put maybe his logo on the paper. Maybe money would be
money was next
right, money, right, and put what you want on there, right? So and I connect this spiritually. I'm a spiritual person. I believe like Jesus Christ said, all these things I do, you can too. Like he turned you know, water to wine, stone to bread. You can manifest. You do these things that, now I'm not saying, oh, you're out there Jesus Christ, but what I am saying is that you have, he said, you can do these things too. You can manifest only with faith and belief in those things that are good. And a vision board helps you to really manifest the best things you want in your life. And so I do that in my office, but I open people to come in and do that as a workshop. But I also go to homes and do a vision board party, and you'll see all the things you put on that vision board will come true. I only deal in positive things that you want. That's what I said, positive things that you want for folks.
You speak negative stuff into existence.
Absolutely. Yeah, that what you put out on other folks comes back to you. So that's another note too. When people start talking about, oh, this person did this to me and that, and then, you know what? You protect yourself. You protect yourself with your own thoughts, with those things that you believe, and you ask the Lord to protect you, and anyone who forms any weapons against you cannot prosper. Absolutely. Absolutely.
discovering the love you seek. What is that?
Right. So the same with discovering the life you seek. Look, I can't give anyone anything. My gift, my destiny, one of my gifts, and we all have gifts. We are all destined to live a purposeful life and have a destiny in this life. I believe that I can help you to access what's already inside of you, and to teach you, give you the tools to do it. I facilitate that process. So I'm not giving you anything. The same even when I was in school teaching my students. A lot of teachers, they want to try to pour information into someone, give them something. No, all the answers to your life are within you. My goal and gift is to have conversations with you, ask questions to help you look at what's in there and you bring that out. So I'm kind of like the midwife, push here, breathe a little harder, get it up, get it out. I'm not putting anything in, right? So, so in terms of the love you want in your life, you have to really look at, I don't want to say you have to, but if that's what you want to attract to yourself, be what you want, right? Uh-huh. Be what you want to get. So a lot of people say, I don't have friends. Well, what kind of friend are you? A lot of people talk about their families. What kind of family member are you? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people like, I want respect. But they want to get respect first before they give respect. So in terms of love or anything, that which you want more of in your life, become that. So for example, I wanted to attract a real man in my life, a relevant man. As I always used to say to him, I'm like, are you a relevant man? When I was, when my fiance and I were first dating. And, one of the things, I made a list of all the things that I wanted. This was before I met my fiance. I wrote a list of all the non-negotiables that I wanted in my soulmate. Yeah. Non-negotiables. I don't mean, is he, I mean stuff that, like, for me, generosity. I like an intelligent man. I like a generous man. I like a humorous person. I'm an intense person, but I like humor too. And I wanted a person who understood wellness and fitness and that, right? So I also wanted a man who was going to be honest and true to me, right? Monogamous. So if you want a man you can trust, you have to be trusting. And I had to look at where am I on the scale of trusting, right? So if you want a man that's trustworthy, you have to be trusting. You have to trust life, your God, your body, your way, your thoughts. You have to trust that the process in this world, the universe is going to meet you to help you to realize your goals and just having faith, right? And so, I come from a broken home, a divorced family, and so I had trust issues. But how am I asking for a man who I can trust, so I want to be trustworthy, and I had trust issues. So I began to trust more in my life, the process of my life. Trust myself, my instincts, my body. And you begin to trust right where you are and the things in your life, and those things come.
Well, this has been a very, very informative interview. I need you to stay, though, because I had two other people coming through. Okay. We want to have an open conversation about wellness, and they wanted to actually speak with you and, just have a open conversation. So we're going to take a 2-minute break before we get some water and stuff we can.
May I just say thank you to you? The best prayer is thank you, one of gratitude, and I thank you for the work you do.
I believe, once again, I'm going to say this real quick before we end this interview. I believe in energy. I'm an energy person. Her energy was right when I first met her. It's just she gravitated to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we was talking. She was telling me about her business. She believes in what she does. And then one thing that she's looking to do is, like, for the betterment of our people. So when I heard that, I already knew I had to get on here. So definitely, if y'all, all the comments I'm reading, y'all saying yes and all this other stuff, the only way for that to go talk to fruition, you got to follow her. You need to also go to her website and things of that nature, book her, do what you have to do to get to know her, because she knows a lot of stuff, not a lot of knowledge. And you see Black Don't Crack, she says she's 57. A lot of y'all in y'all 30s, and I'm telling y'all, I don't know, y'all need some yoga, and y'all need some of that stuff. So, that's why I brought her on the show. I want, my people to understand there's other alternatives. Stop being in that box. Everybody stays in the box, but don't want to go outside the box. And we dying because of it. So, change your health, your lifestyle, the way you eat, and things of that nature. But this has been Big Ant. It's the Real Q&A. We're going to wait take a 2-minute break. So I got these guys coming through, and we're going to talk more wellness.
So, Untethered LLC, and thank you for watching the Real Q&A.